Hey there folks, this is Ed Beard again with the Employer's Edge. And I thought what a great time to have a conversation with you on a subject that comes up over and over and over again. And what fascinates me to no end about this subject is about accountability, but the disparity and how people see themselves compared to what accountability is. People with a very narrow definition of accountability find themselves to be very accountable. They do what they say they're going to do. They own it, or some definition of that from that perspective. And when you have such a narrow definition, it's easy to hit the mark. However, when you broaden the definition of accountability, your relationship to the standard starts to fall apart. Here's what I mean by that. So we have one leader in a department we're moving into to help them out too. And the leader in this department, they're hard charging, they're buttoned up, they know their numbers, they hold their people accountable, they drive the business, and they pride themselves on doing what they say they're going to do. And they own it. I mean, they own it. There is no room for improvement on their accountability in their mind. This same leader has about an 18% turnover in his department, costing the organization about $250,000 a year. You tell me, how's that accountable? Someone who owns it, who is someone who does what they say they're going to do, but they cost their organization that kind of money, that's not accountable. But they don't see it because that's not incorporated into their vision of accountability. Have another leader in an organization, in a securities organization. This person is not just a wonderful person, they're a great leader. I mean, they're just accountable, their people like them, they're very competent. I mean, this person's over the top competent, and they have no succession plan. If this person got hit by a bus, this leader, the organization would be in hot water with multiple government agencies inside of 90 days. I mean, this is serious risk here. So how is someone who does what they say they're going to do, is just a wonderful person, they own it, they are dedicated and committed to the organization, they are accountable, no question asked, putting their organization at that kind of risk, say that's just not accountable. You know, there are kind of some smaller measures. We see leaders who are a constant stream of verbal negativity. You know, how come every time I get in some kind of a line, there's always a load of people in front of me, but no one ever gets behind me. It's like I'm always the last one. You know, something like that. Or I came up 53rd on the way to work today. I think I probably hit every single red light coming here. Or, you know what? Here's one, traveling, airlines. How is it that this airline stays in business with the morons that run this thing? I mean, I think in order to get a job with an airline nowadays, you actually have to fill out an application on being the top moron application, because you have to be one in order to get a job here. Okay, folks, I'm not saying you're not right, but that constant stream of negativity is not accountable. Other examples might be leaders that enable their people because they're doers, not leaders. So they enable the people to not think, to not fill out agendas, to not do their job. That's not accountable. Leaders that steal other people's ideas, that's not accountable. Leaders that don't get feedback, that's not accountable. Even if you describe yourself as being very truthful, you always tell the truth, and you pat yourself on the back because you always tell the truth. However, you never hear the truth. You avoid measures to hear the truth. You don't pursue the truth about you. Yeah, see, that's also not accountable. See, when we broaden the definition of accountability, our standard starts to fall apart. We do have room for improvement. Everybody does. You know, show me a leader that is very accountable, self-described very accountable. There's no room for improvement. They're at the top of the stack, and I'll show you a leader who has a very narrow, ignorant definition of accountability. That's just the truth of it. Now, if you have a leader or a team that could use help with being more accountable, just give us a call here at the Employer's Edge. We're always happy to jump in and give you some ideas that can help you roll this idea out so that your leaders and your teams are higher performing because they're actually more accountable because they have a broader definition of it. I hope that helped.